Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Soulight Hypnotherapy. My name is Kirsten and I have another Trump-related reading for you guys today. Today is January the 24th, Friday. I have not posted a political reading in the past week because I just have not felt good about it. And I already told you what I see happening, that the Republicans will acquit him. And I already told you that that shouldn't put Americans in the street, because that signifies that the country has been hijacked. Okay? By letting him get away with this, they have basically declared to the world and to us as Americans that our Constitution doesn't matter, and truth doesn't matter, like Adam Schiff said last night. And so therefore, we are lost. And that's so weird because I laid these cards last night right after I saw Adam Schiff's speech, his closing argument, because it made me feel hopeful again. It was so good. And I think that they did a tremendous and really good job presenting so much evidence, overwhelming evidence that no one can refute or deny. It makes the Republican senators look completely biased or stupid, one or the other, and either one is not good as representatives to lead our country, chosen by the people, this America. So it's really been breaking my heart that our democracy is completely dying right now, dying right in front of our very eyes, and everybody's kind of numb to it and not going crazy about it. And what this means for black and brown people is highly significant, because the loss of our liberties will hit us first before it hits, white people. So, and I'm just being honest, guys. This is serious, and a lot of the liberties that have been fought and died for so many years are at threat right now. Okay? And just because it may not affect you first, it's going to affect the nature of the land and the country that you have called home for so many years. And everybody needs to think about that. So anyway, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed already. I'm not being really circulated on YouTube, and who knows why that is. But I always put my heart into the reading. I read in layers, and I'd like it if you could, if you like what you see here, that you would share the link of my video to your Facebook or social network and help spread the word about my channel, and please invite your friends to subscribe. Alright, and you can support the channel financially by becoming a Patreon subscriber. There's a link and information in my description box, or you can donate. There's a donate button on the home page. So that being said, let's get started. What will the Republican senators vote? Will the Republican senators vote to remove Trump from office? That was my question to the cards. I'm using the Modern Spellcaster's Tarot deck today, and I'm using the Vera Sibilla to clarify. Okay? The 10th card, I'm asking, will reveal what the Republicans will do ultimately. Will they remove him or keep him? Okay, I'm asking the 10th card to tell me that. And the 5th card is the ultimate outcome for America as a result of this trial. Okay? Queen of Pentacles is at the heart of the issue. She represents America. She could be representing a woman in charge of domestic matters, security, national security, the home, the property, the Congress, someone who sits in a high position. This could be Nancy Pelosi, it could be someone else. All right? But like I said, she can represent many things. She can also represent the energy and the heart of the issue. So I'm going to read her as an energy card. At the heart of the matter is the national security issue, keeping America safe and prosperous and secure. Because that's what this Queen of Pentacles requires. She needs to be kept safe and secure. As an energy or force, she is first and foremost concerned with her own state of security and safety, her own family, her own home, her own business, her own money, and her own interests. And she will selfishly protect her own interests first before those of anyone else. She can be a selfish mistress, but that's the high price to pay to keep her company and to keep her entertaining of you, right? Making you comfortable, making you safe. Okay, she plays that part. And like I said, she's America. She's Nancy Pelosi. And she is also representing our representatives. She represents all our politicians, specifically the senators, from both sides. She has a conservative bent, so she's largely here representing the Republican Party too. In this reading, she can be a selfish mistress, I'm being told, but that's the high price to pay to keep her company, to keep her entertained. To keep her entertaining you, you must entertain her values, her needs, and supply her with that. Okay. I'm seeing that as Nancy Pelosi's energy, if it's her, there's a looking back at the past, or the Dems. There's a looking back at the past. This could be the collective, that we're looking back at the past. The foreigners are looking back at the past. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm just kind of channeling. There's a lot of people looking back at the past at a false promise to visit if taken care of. A false promise to visit if taken care of. That's where the bribery is involved, and that's kind of a case that the Republicans feel need to be proved in order to remove this president, is that the case of bribery needs to be met. And the cards are saying, if you look back at the past, where the promise to visit with a foreign interest, that was the bribery, that was the thing of value that was bribed, used as bribery. This is where bribery can be proved. That's what I'm getting. All right, but back to this Queen of Pentacles. At the heart of the issue, she needs to be entertained before anybody else is entertained. And she will entertain you. Hold on. She will entertain you as long as she's being taken care of. And that's where I'm hearing the bribery. Okay? As long as she will make you feel safe and welcome and at home, as long as there's something in it for her. She can be very kind and protective and supportive, but she's also very high maintenance. That's in her energy. And you have to keep this queen happy, because she's a receiving queen. And in this instance, she's receiving money or bribes or something of value. Is entertained to visit, but it's a false promise. That's the high crime. That's the crime that he's guilty of. And he is guilty of bribery. They can make that case. They want to present, I believe, witnesses that can make that case. She wants to present witnesses that can make that case. And I think being held back, being shut out from that witness, I don't know if it's a woman, but someone can make a case of bribery. I don't. That's at the heart of this issue. That's what's going on. what I'm taking from this the most is, I think that's the case. The Republicans feel that bribery needs to be proved to remove this president. They won't accept anything less than that. I think that's going to be their defense, is what I'm trying to say. Bribery wasn't proven, and so therefore we don't have to impeach this president. So this Queen of Pentacles can represent America, the country, America as the country, America as the concept, and the cause and fight to hold on to her. She represents what is being entertained, held on to, that is of value, and also what has been entertained is substantially supported. So I'm channeling that there are witnesses that, if allowed to come forth, can make the case of bribery. So that is the cause and case of the Dems, but it is also the case of the Republicans that bribery is what's needed to support removal of this president. And at the heart of the matter, everyone is just trying to keep what's important to them, that keeps them safe and prosperous and secure. Safe, prosperous, and secure. Everyone mentioned. The Americans, the Dems, America, the country, the Republicans, Trump. And for somebody, their value system and their priorities of interest are highly fucked up. Okay? Totally selfish and highly fucked up. So, there's a lot of selfishness present here in someone who should be protective of the national interest. And it's their money, their business, their position, their security. That's what's involved. That's what's being put first. And it could be a witness, someone who has a lot of evidence that they could share. Selfish interest being put first. I feel like we're talking about Bolton. I feel like we're talking about the Republican senators. You want to know why? Why are they following Trump? Why are they following this selfish, crazy boy child president? They're all entangled in some sort of way, in some kind of bribery or blackmail or brainwashing. Okay? Some have been seduced by the power. Some have been seduced by the money. Some have been seduced and they got pictures of them with children or with little boys or in homosexuality. And that's why. And then some of them are just brainwashed. They just drank the Kool-Aid. Okay? That's why they're entangled in this mess. That's why they're trapped in this. Right? Because they're all guilty of these crimes. And he's guilty of this high crime of bribery. And if you follow the path of the visit that was promised and wasn't upheld by the vice president, then you'll see the bribery transaction. Biagio talks about business conducted over foreign lands, bribery taking place, business conducted over foreign lands that leads to this dependent, that leads to negative dependence. All right? That leads to actions that'll put you in jail. These Republicans, some of them have been bribed. Like I said, some of them have been seduced by the power. Some of them have been blackmailed. And there's evidence on them of some real, stuff. Biagio is taking our interest in that direction, right? We're just trying to figure out what keeps you trapped with this. That's what it is. That's what it is. Okay, so that's at the heart of the matter. So we've got this Four of Cups here, which challenges this Queen of Pentacles energy, the national security issue, and the evidence that's been presented is presented well and it holds up well. It's very grounded, and but it's not received. It's not received. It's rejected, right? It's rejected by these senators. This Four of Cups. The cup is not received. I want to look at another Four of Cups here. Hold on. I'm using my my new Illuminati deck. I don't know why I don't just use it. Just trying to get used to the card. I just want to look at it. Yeah, because they're presented. See how they're presented with this cup. They're presented with this good information. It's good information. It's good information, and they don't want it. They don't want to see it. They don't want to hear it. They want things to be like they used to be, or they want things to be better, but they don't want what this is has given them. And this is a deep reading because it goes into a lot of psychological subconscious messages that, you know, America is talking through this reading. They don't want what I've offered her. They don't want the protection I've given her. They don't want to keep me happy. They don't want to keep America happy. They're ignoring her blessings, and they're ignoring what she has the power to give them and has given them, right? They want their own vanities fulfilled. So I feel there are witnesses that, if allowed to come forth, can make the case for bribery, show the case for bribery, right? I guess that's why they didn't include that in the articles, because they weren't able to pull forth these witnesses. But she wants to bring forth some witnesses that could help make the case for bribery, right? And I feel like that's what, you know, is trying to be blocked here. You can't see the card, but the Knight of Wands is below, and why this is all happening. Knight of Wands is below here, and why this is all happening. Okay, so America's national security is at the heart of the issue, but what's being presented, which has been presented well and is fully grounded, is not being accepted, it's being rejected, it's not being looked at, it's not being received well, right, by these Republican senators. It's not enough. I feel they want a case of bribery to be made in order to remove this president, right? And they're refusing to look at all the benefits and all the blessings that has been given so far, as well, not only from the case made by the Dems, but what America has offered them. They're not looking at what they are about to reject. They are turning their back on America for selfish interests, for selfish, vain interests. Served, that they want to serve, that they'd rather serve themselves first. Okay, so if you're asking why are the senators doing this, okay, their senators are doing this for selfish, vain reasons. For some of them, they've been bribed. For some of them, they have accepted foreign monies and they're entangled in crimes. For some of them, they're in the loop. For some of them, they have been blackmailed. For some of them, they have some salacious information or pictures with children or young boys, or in homosexuality, in sensual decadence. They have their reasons. They all have their reasons, right? They all have their reasons to stay entangled in this situation, tied to this emotionally immature, tantrum throwing, sense loving, addicted to power, to sex, to drugs, addicted to bad behavior. They're remaining entangled with this energy for these reasons. Right? There you go. Because what has been presented to them has been good information. It's good information. What just fell? What has presented is good information. I don't know what fell. What has been presented is good information. Yet they're refusing to look at it. They're not looking at it. Right? And I do feel that it did sink in. Some of it sunk in, right? It sunk in. And some of them may be brooding over, thinking about, not liking the position that they're in is what I'm trying to say. Right? Not liking the position that they're in. Some of them are thinking about it, even though they tried not to. The arguments sunk in that the Democrats made. That's what I'm feeling. Because their case is well supported. But I think that they're going to send the message that bribery needs to be, as a defense, bribery is what needs to be proved, and that everything was pieced together and by the Democrats, elaborately pieced together, and that's how they're defending what the Democrats presented. That's their defense. So at the heart of the matter, everybody is here that I mentioned that she represents. And everybody is focused on what's important to their feeling safe, secure, and prosperous. Okay? And whatever that is to them. For some of them, it is the country. For some of them, it's their family first, it's their money first, it's their business first, it's their foreign interests, it's what they want to keep. Everybody, they want to keep doing it because they're addicted. They don't want to give it up because they're addicted. Both of these cards are strongly addicted to power, to vain glory, and to this elitism, this idealism of being elite and better and superior. So there you go. That's why the Republicans have got us in this situation. The Queen of Pentacles can have good priorities and she can have selfish ones, and she's dual like that. So I would say the Republican value system and priorities is not in the national interest, and it's highly fucked up as long as they keep following Trump. And that's basically what the cards are saying. There's some sort of focus on traveling back in time, traveling back and looking back at this bribery, this visit, promised but not fulfilled, right? That's where the bribery is proved, right? And that's what I feel she wants to bring forth to support her case. And what's being blocked here, blocked and not taking action on. They don't want that. The Four of Cups is the challenge. The challenge is to capture the interest of the Republican senators, present them with something so compelling that it takes them out of themselves and allows them to see the bigger, more important picture, which is America itself, not just their own selfish interests. That's the challenge, but they're being stubborn and ungrateful and refusing to look at the truth, and also refusing to look at evidence and to take this opportunity that's being given to them, take an opportunity or a deal that's being given to them right now, right? Which is an opportunity to finally get rid of this motherfucker that they don't like anyway, right? But they're not going to take action to do so, okay? So I'm telling you again, they're not going to remove Trump. Even though I had hope that they would, they're not going to. Adam Schiff couldn't move their sensibilities. Their priorities are all fucked up. They are asked to make a decision. They're asked to make a decision to accept what has been presented, well presented, and they're saying, no, it's not good enough. It's inadequate in some way, right? The Five of Pentacles. Something's missing, right? We don't have proof of bribery. And what was presented was elaborately pieced together into this poor man's collage. It doesn't make any sense to me. That's their position that they're taking, okay? That's how they're choosing to deal with this. They've been seduced in one way or another. And they're going to protect and shield the child, the president. Mainly because it protects and shields them, first and foremost, right? It's very disappointing to see how they're not opening their eyes to the evidence right clearly in front of them. The Knight of Wands talks about, sorry, I'm using the classic Celtic cross spread, but it means I don't have enough space on my, anyway. Let me get back into the reading. I don't want to reverse. This is an energy that goes around in circles and makes you angry, frustrates you, irritates you. It could be delays in messages, delays in communication. It could also be delays in taking action. It irritates you. You can't get anywhere with this energy. It's also an alarming energy next to this Disgrazia card. I feel like there is something that is threatening to ruin. This lack of action on their part threatens to ruin. This lack of action on their part threatens to ruin the Republican Party. Which is clarified here by this Disgrazia card below. Sorry you can't see. Alright. And they feel powerless, the Republican Party. They feel powerless and are using their power in the wrong way. They're going around in circles, or they're not taking appropriate actions to put out this fire. To get this situation under control, to get this child under control, to reprimand him and get him under control. They're not taking advantage of this opportunity presented to them here and here, right, to throw this motherfucker out. They're not doing it. They're not taking action. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do the right thing. There's so much pessimism that they will do the right thing that I couldn't even do a reading until today, because of Adam Schiff's speech last night, which was so good, when he said, if there's no right and there's no wrong, then we are lost. This reading is saying that we are lost, guys. I'm sorry to bring you the message. But let me not jump the gun. Let me not jump the gun. It ain't over till it's over, and we got to keep fighting. But it's so sad and so disappointing that these elected officials have completely sold out the country and its citizens for their own selfish needs and desires. That's what you need to understand is happening. Your liberties have been betrayed. That's what you need to understand, and that's what's happening. Right before your very eyes. You're not even seeing it. This is us too. This is the collective. Because we feel powerless. We feel powerless. We feel like, what action can we take to put out this fire? Right? We elected these people to do it for us, and they're not fucking doing it. They're not doing their job in this position. They're not doing their job. And they have this chance. They had more than one chance to get rid of him. They have more than one chance, right, to accept a deal or this opportunity. And they are selling us down the river, the whole country, these Republican senators. And that's what you need to get mad and angry about. That's what you need to call them on. To make them do the right thing. To motivate them to affect their interest that matters to them first and foremost and so much above and everything and everyone else. So, where am I at? So this energy here that represents the senator's actions, which is non-action or delay and stalling, and I feel like this energy here lacks foresight and is right now pursuing their own interests, failing to see the long-term consequences of their actions and failure to take action. And as a body of people or as a person, why this is all happening right now. And that's really why the country, the democracy has fallen. Not an easy reading to deliver, guys. This is why I didn't want to do a reading. You ain't seen nothing yet in terms of corruption. Witness intimidation, threats about threats to the media. Where am I going with this and why? Let me just follow my notes, okay? Because I'm sidetracking. I feel like there is a particular action very soon that they are about to take that will put everything at risk and will be greatly regretted later. It's going to cause chaos or burn it all down, or cause ruin to the Republican Party. Okay, their next action, what they're failing to do or the action they're about to take is going to cause ruin to the Republican Party. By not taking action to destroy Trump, they're destroying themselves, is what it's saying. They're frustrated by the Democrats' argument, and they're frustrated by this energy that won't allow them to move forward. And the Democrats' argument puts them in a really bad light. It shows them to be pawns rather than players. Yet still they feel they're unmoved to take an action. And I see them being rushed and bullied by their leader, Trump McConnell, so that their consciousness won't have time to speak to them or to get the better of them. I do feel like there is going to be some kind of stalling of the process. Somebody may stall the process. Could be a woman. But I feel like they're being bullied and by their leader, Trump or McConnell, so that their consciousness can't or won't have the time to speak to them and get the better of them. The situation is getting way out of control, right? Because the case presented is so good. It's such good information. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelmingly good, right? And everybody's watching, and they see that. They see that this doesn't look good. This can ruin these senators. It's something you need to stop and think about. Where you're headed, because you're really headed in the wrong direction, and you're destroying yourselves. They're losing control, and they're going to relinquish their own power and check. They're going to destroy themselves rather than destroy this president. Because they're addicted, or they're linked, or they're, something keeps them entangled. Sorry about all the noise. Gardeners. Trying to talk above it. I do see someone talking, though. High Priestess reverse. But let me go back to this. Yeah, let's go to the High Priestess reverse. Coming up, we've got the High Priestess reverse, and it says that they will not listen to their conscience. All right, so they're ignoring what they know deep down inside is true. They're not listening to their inner truth or to their inner child, their inner consciousness, to what they know is right. See the child there? And they're not going to do the right thing. They're closing off. They are not listening to evidence, and they don't want to see the future, or they don't want us to see the future. They don't want us to see something, is what I'm picking up. They feel like they've already have all the answers. Right? This could be someone who has answers, who's spilling some big tea. Right? I feel like that's what's coming up. Someone who has all the answers is spilling some big tea. It's going to be overwhelming. If it comes out, or if we're allowed to see it, they don't want us to see it. Right? There's effort to block visibility, to make invisible classified sensitive information. Someone has a secret that's going to come out to the surface. It will be pretty damaging information, very damaging to them especially. And damaging to Trump, because I see him as his tower is burning. Should be enough, but for some reason it's not enough. Okay, because the most likely outcome to this reading is 5 of Pentacles. It's not enough. Even after all this, Sorry about the board being out of... I just can't seem to figure out my angles anymore. Just can't seem to figure out my angles. What was I saying? It was good what I was saying. I think it was good. They can't figure out... No. There are some powers that be that want to prevent some information from getting out or leaked out. But it gets out, right? This is gossip and this is big T. Overwhelming, right? And everybody can see it. Everybody is listening. Everybody is watching, and it's very damning. It's very damaging. But for some reason, it's still not enough. For them. I think we find out something is leaked that they wanted to keep confidential here. Something comes out that was supposed to have been kept confidential or private or secret. It is spilled. Okay? So look for that to happen soon. Then we have this Emperor reversed. Clarified by the Dilaranti. And the Queen of Cups is clarified by Allegrizia. And the outcome card, or the most likely outcome card, is the Five of Pentacles and the Fortuna reverse. Dilarante is being under the sway of this authoritarian. These people, this party who's under this total sway of this authoritarian, they're leading us down this road to perdition. They're leading us down this road, this path to total destruction. The ruin of the country, the ruin of the democracy. And there's so much peer pressure. They won't break free from the group. Okay, I do feel like there's going to be some emotions. Finally, people in the streets, the rallies and protests. Okay, we're getting to that point, hopefully. Because I see large gatherings of people and protesting of this abusive ruler. But I also see people who are under the hypnotized, basically hypnotized and under total sway of this energy, doing crazy things and supporting chaos and war and civil war and all that. So you guys ain't seen nothing yet, because when this acquittal is done, that's what that's what it sets off. That's what's set off. Okay. Trump's ego is going to become massive, massively huge. He'll think he can do anything. And his followers think he can do anything too. Look at how glassy their eyes are. It's very unsettling. They're like I said, hijacking America. I feel like this secret witness that's kept private for confidential reasons, right? I feel like it's someone who had a lot of power in a key powerful position, and it says something about the drug deal. So I feel it is Bolton. But okay, so I guess Bolton does come forward. It's been very iffy. My cards have been up and down because they really don't want him. Maybe there's a deal that they accept and they allow him in if it's done behind closed doors. But I feel like that's going to get leaked or spilled. I feel like we find out some things. Maybe we find it out through his book. I don't know. But there's some sort of leak or spill. Queen of Cups. As an outcome, what the Republicans are going to do. Queen of Cups. I mean, I already told you what they're going to do. Threw me off, though, because she's a good card. She takes care of you, and she supports you, and she could represent a woman who wants to look deeper into a situation that's been blocked off. She may represent a Republican who wants to see more evidence, who may be affected and can relate now to what's happening based on evidence presented. I feel like there is someone who has had a change of heart, but it's not enough. It's not enough to make a difference. She's clarified here by Algrizia, which means, she remains loyal to her man. She remains loyal to, they're remaining loyal as a collective group to Trump. Okay? And we're lost. The country is lost. All right? Now, the positive side that I see, we're going to go through some things, right? We're going to go through some things as a country, right? Because right doesn't mean right anymore, and wrong doesn't mean wrong anymore. And shit and chaos breaks out because that's what that means. That's anarchy. When right is no longer right and wrong is no longer wrong, you have utter rebellion and anarchy, right? That's what this is. That's what this means, okay? And we're lost. We're lost if that's where we're at, and that's where America's at ultimately. But the positive piece to take from this is that this condition of hardship, of lost abandonment, doesn't have to be permanent. It can be a short temporary period if corrections are made, right? And there's stuff done to give aid or to benefit the situation and heal the situation. It doesn't have to be lost. It could just be temporary. There's still a chance for correcting the situation and learning lessons from having gone through this challenge. But we're in the shit right now, right? And I think the woman who has had a change of heart is ostracized, pushed out, locked out, right? I think that's also the outcome for America on different layers. We end up, for a period of time, in that position where we're isolated and alone and not deemed trustworthy or safe. We're spiritually lost. There's going to be hardship for America, and there's danger of a big crash. Okay, this is severe financial loss, and then this would be the Wheel of Fortune or the stock market. There's some danger of a big crash coming. I feel like I'm all over the place with this reading. I've had a hard time conveying all the different stories in my head. I hope some of it's come through for you guys. There is something here about evidence that's been locked away or kept private, and someone wanting to get deeper in, go see it deeper, see deeper evidence that's been locked away. I think I already told you that. But it's ultimately greed leads to loss, and anxiety will lead to error, and possessiveness will lead to solitude. And by focusing on the material, we lose sight of what's important, the Four of Cups, the blessings that America has to offer all of us. It's neglected. It's not valued. It's not appreciated. There's a lack of gratitude, and greed takes over. And this is short-term gain that leads to long-term loss if we can't correct it. America and this Queen of Cups energy is alone and isolated, unwanted, and in need of support and comfort, and not getting it. She's not able to get support from those who actually care, right? Because they're shut out from helping her. She's lost because she's surrounded by sycophants who just want the chaos, right? And want to follow their leader. So it's really a sad reading. Can we save her? Can we save America? Is America going to be saved? Again, I said this could be a time of temporary hardship, difficult, but only temporary if we can correct the behavior before it becomes sealed in and permanent, right? To correct the child before it becomes this forever. The Fortuna card reversed, again, is not horrible. It can talk about a fall from glory, which America will fall from glory. Fall from its glory. It may just be temporary, but there's a fall from glory. There's a big dip in the market or big loss. It's a big major loss, right? What's happening right now. And but it says that success is still there. There's still success in this card. It's just delayed or set back. So like again, I get that temporary energy that I mentioned before. We can still turn it around. We can still turn it back upright. We can still self-correct. If we don't miss this opportunity to remove him now. Oh my God, please, everybody pray. Pray. Pray for the consciousness of the Republican senators to be raised to the highest level of light and truth. For them to do what is in the highest interest of the good of all. Pray for their consciousness to be raised to that highest level, okay? Because this is the cup they need to accept. I can't stress that enough. Guys, I feel I'm just going down too dark of a road right now. I want to try to leave on a high note. And the Fortuna card, even though she's reversed, isn't the worst card. Again, she says there's a possibility that you can turn this around if you take an opportunity. But we're tested right now. Oh my God. For a short time, this new world order has begun. So, what has to happen is, we have to protect our election. We have to protect our votes. We have to protect our voting rights. We have to not allow ourselves to be intimidated or kept from voting, or people to be kept from voting. And that could be where riots and protests and all this stuff is going to be breaking out. Because I see it's going to be crazy. And but I do see Republican senators, you're loyal now, you're going to regret your loyalty later. This is the card of job loss, position loss, and fall from glory. All right, I'm done with the reading. Bye.